Assalamu alaikum and yay, welcome back to the second episode of the YouTube channel. Why am I wobbling so much? Right, I'm going to try not moving because I'm balancing the tripod on something different today to ensure that it doesn't fall over, but it's wobbling. I don't know. Theo, though, on the other hand, has found Isa's, what do you call it? His ping pong ball. Yeah, that's what it is. And he's just rolling that around on the floor. So inshallah, he's hoping he'll be able to leave me alone for a while. But you might hear the sounds in the background. Okay, so still in January, alhamdulillah. Love this month. Because actually this was the month that I released Mina, like, to the world. We are now 4 years old, alhamdulillah. And also, this is the month that, yeah, I just love it. I absolutely love it, regardless of like Blue Monday or whatever they come out with these days. That can all go in the bin. Like, I love January. It's like midwinter. So I suppose for some people it might be that all the festivities are finished, of like, even if you don't join in with them, you see them taking place. So we have like bonfire night, Halloween, we have Christmas. So even if you're not partaking in them, the hubbub is there. Like, there's always that anticipation, and then come January, it's like, oh, we've got to get back to work. But for me, subhanallah, it's like, I don't think it's only for me, to be honest. If I go back to when I was teaching, I asked a class of 10-year-olds, they were in year 5, about, do you think there's more happiness or sadness in the world? And from like those 30 children, only 2 of them said that there was more happiness in the world, and the rest, like 28 of them, was like, there's so much more sadness. And that's because of the way the world is portrayed to them, right? Like, all you see on the news is there's so much bad going on. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not about toxic positivity. Like, for sure, there is hardship going on. Like, there will always be certain situations that completely throw you off. And that happens to me too, like, all the time. But you end up realizing that actually, if that's the focus of your life, then that's all you're going to see. Whereas if you focus on the good, you end up seeing more good. That's just the way it is. So Allah always says, like, in the Quran, that, when you're grateful, I will give you more. And if you don't, then, his punishment's severe as well. And that's to say that when we focus on the good, that we're grateful for what we have, it increases. So subhanAllah, going into the video of the story I'm sharing this week is very spontaneous. I'll take you right back to the beginning. It is a trip to London. Now, this wasn't on the cards, okay? Like, when I say it wasn't on the cards, I mean, like, there was no way we were going London, okay? Like, no way. Yet, as luck would have it, I wouldn't even say it's luck, right? It's just the way things are. I'm going to take you right back. Let's go right back to the beginning. So me with my boys, what we do is we share a to-do list together. They have their own technological devices, and I have my iPhone. So the lists all go into the reminders app, and we, populate them when needed. It's like if my son needs his homework doing, or if I need to sign his letter or something, he'll just pop it on there as a little reminder instead of continuously saying, "Mummy, mummy, mummy, do this, do this." And it means that I actually get around to it, alhamdulillah. So yeah, for the winter break, during the 2 weeks we had off at the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, we made a little list of things we want to do this holiday. And I go to them, just write down whatever you want, right? Just write down wherever you want to go. And I put down my own things of, there was this new place that had opened, they wanted to go and eat. There was, a walk in a different park that I wanted to sort of take them on as well. They wanted to go swimming, anything. I just go, guys, just write everything down. Now, my eldest son put on there, take a trip down to London. Now, we live in West Yorkshire, and I go to London, reasonably, like at least about 2 or 3 times a year, depending on the circumstances. But it's been a while since we've just been down for like tourists in our own country, and the boys hadn't been down since I think before COVID. So I was like, to me, it was no biggie, and at the same time, I was like, that's stretching it like it's winter. I'm not, all those excuses that you make straight up, like he wanted to do it. So I go, right, put it down. And I knew I'd be stretching it like the time, the season of life I'm in right now, it just wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay. And I think as a family, you've got to have that balance of realizing, okay, we can do this, we can't do this, and working it out in such a way that we're all we also get to all enjoy life and we all get to enjoy each other's company. Now I promise I'm sharing all this to you because there's a few points from it, okay? It's not just me going on about a trip to London, like how not boring actually. I thought it was quite interesting. So anyway, just write it down and we thought nothing of it, okay? Literally though, like I said to him, write it down, but deep down I was like, we're not going. When you go, there's that voice inside of you. And I'm like, if I'm the one organizing this and I can't literally afford it, if I stretch myself and everything, like there's no way. And London always comes up in the thousands or whatever for us. So I was like, no, that's not happening. Yeah, honestly, what a miracle. My friend rings me up. We've been friends for like 24 years now. Like we used to go boarding school together. We were roommates for 5 years. And last time we met up, I had Isa, my eldest, who's now 12, alhamdulillah. I was pregnant with him. So the last time we met up was when, yeah, 12 years ago, we had a sleepover at her house. And it was like, whenever we meet, it's like the old days, like we're back in boarding school and we're having sleepovers, right? And yeah, so we're talking about where we are in life. We shared what's going on, and as general conversations go, alhamdulillah, we're very truthful, very open with each other, and it all just sort of comes out. So whatever's been going on in my own life for the past couple of months and so forth, and yeah, thought nothing of it. We put down the phone and messaged each other saying it was lovely catching up. And then she rings me, like, I think it was in the first week of the holidays. And she goes, Samina, she's come round. And I was like, I can't, like, I can't. And at this point, I'm not linking the whole, my son's written down London on the to-do list and all this stuff. Like, we wrote it on that list, but, you only look at it when you're thinking, well, what are we going to do today? Or what should we do? So I go, no, I can't. I've got an assignment due, right? I'm doing a master's in psychology. It's quite a meaty one. I've got to focus on that. Plus, there's all sorts of other stuff going on. There is no way, my love, that I can make it down. And I go, but I'm not saying no, right? I go, I'm leaving. Give me a few days. Let me have a think about it. if I can get like an extension on my assignment, or if there's a few other things that I can tidy up, then yeah, inshallah, like tidy up in my schedule, we can inshallah meet up. And then I spoke to my son, and I was like, oh, my friend has been saying to go down to London to see her and everything. And she goes, oh, remember I wanted to go London? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember you wanted to go London. So I thought, there's no harm in checking. I was thinking I could drive, right? Alhamdulillah, driven down to, like, I'm okay with long journeys. So I thought I can drive down, but then I want to enjoy it too. So I was like, let me just have a look at how much the train tickets are. And no lie, whenever we go London, honestly, like, I'm always paying, like, for me going alone, it's still about £120 return journey or so forth. And even when we used to go as a family, it'd always be like 200-300 quid. I don't know how, alhamdulillah, but we got it down to like 80 quid or something. It was crazy. And I was like, okay, I think I can make this work. If I pull a few strings from here and do a bit, I can do this. So I thought, okay, so, and plus I'm staying at my friends inshallah this time. So there's that as well. And they'll get to go around everywhere. So I ring her up and I go, okay, I think I've got something. I'll book it soon. Let me just sort out my assignment and stuff. So I'm there working on my assignment as best as I can, getting a few bits done. And then if you can hear that noise, it's right. Theo's totally going for it with the curtains right now. And I was like, okay, right, I think we're doing this. And lo and behold, somehow on the around 2nd of January, for about 4 or 5 nights, we ended up going to my friends, alhamdulillah. The boys absolutely loved it. They made new friends, and mashallah, like, she's got such a lovely little family. We got to just be, and there was so many lessons from just changing my environment for a few days and listening and opening up and sharing what I've been doing for the past couple of years as well. And when we started talking, honestly, we just unearthed so much about ourselves, and I can't go into depth about herself. But even for me personally, it was just, we were roommates, right? So we know each other from a completely different perspective from, how your husband might know you or how your family knows you. She, like, knew the raw me, I suppose. And even then, like, only Allah knows the depth of us. But it allowed me to just look back and think that the decisions I've made, the choices I've made, alhamdulillah, they were not wrong. They were on track, and the bits where I've gone wrong and where I can improve. And it was the same for her. Like, she was like, really? Wow. And what was crazy, right? The craziest bit I learned, not just from her, but on the journey and meeting other people and talking, and even in, like, my day to day, like the other day I was at in town, I got talking to a woman, and it was about our connection with Allah, right? And how everybody perceives it in a different way, or everybody thinks a different way of what a connection with Allah is all about. And subhanallah, it's so beautiful to share what I've learned over the few years and to learn where they are right now and add to it, and sometimes even just learn myself as well. But the beauty is, sorry, I always get like this when I'm in the middle of these type of conversations, but the beauty is seeing that when somebody connects with Allah, they find themselves. They find their true peace, their inner peace, that true joy. And yes, they still come across so many, scenarios in life, like so many things will still happen. It's not like your car's not going to break down again. It's not like the washing machine is not going to break down again. It's not like you won't be afflicted with something, right? They're all a part of life. All those things will still happen. Yet the way you respond is so different because of your connection with Allah. And this is what I got talking to her about, right? And within our conversation, she was sharing about how a recent trip to the Lake District. I'm going to be paraphrasing here, and I hope one day I'll be able to bring her on and she'll talk a little bit about it herself. But she was talking about how when she went to the Lake District, sorry, or it must have been the Peaks, one of either two at that point. Oh, it was the Lakes. Not like that's the most important thing of the conversation, but I feel like I want to be as correct as I can. So they were at the lakes and she was looking at the mountains and she remembered Allah. And she was just like, at that point, actually, she was like, she didn't know why she was in such awe of the mountains and why they just seemed so amazing. Yet when she was connecting with Allah through prayer and just thinking about it all, she realized that, wow, the reason why I was so drawn to them is because Allah made them, right? And imagine Allah's might and power, and imagine everything He has. That, and subhanallah, like, I'm so grateful for being a Muslim. And it reminded me of the time in sharing with her that, and that's the beauty, when you can connect to Allah through Allah's names, through Allah's beautiful resources and everything He's given us, we realize that regardless of what people, right, even a group of people try to do that's against morally, even, right? If they are questioning morals and thinking that what they're doing is right and what somebody else is doing is wrong, like you're killing people, you're killing babies for no apparent reason, right? When you think that's justified because of something, that's when you realize that, yeah, people can just be so easily brainwashed, okay? And they can say it's political or it's an agenda or whatever. Yet when you can take yourself away from that and really hone in on the fact that this is nothing but just against basic human moral rights, against everything that's in our Quran, okay? Everything that we've got written in this most amazing book, it's absolutely against it, that you realize, yeah, that's just wrong, right? And what those people fear is that they don't have control over you. And what we don't always realize is we have so much power. Subhanallah. We have so much power because we are connected to Allah. We don't have the power. Like, the power is all Allah's, okay? All might belongs to Allah. Yet when we are close to Allah, we don't need anything else. And that is what they're scared of. That is what everybody's always like so scared of. Okay, that's what they want to crush. Yet when you look at the faith of those that are going through so many hardships, yet they have that strong faith in Allah, nothing can break them. So remembering that actually when you're connected with Allah, it's all for your own benefit. It's all for you, not for Allah. Okay? It's You're doing it for yourself. To be able to take care of yourself in order to be at peace, calm, you've got to connect with Allah. And all that noise in the background, I do apologize. He is going absolutely crazy with one of his toys. Yet, alhamdulillah, he has not been able to take my tripod down today. Okay, so going to just wrap up with the lessons I got from that trip. It was, firstly, right, just ask Allah. Ask Allah for whatever you want. And not Katrina down the road. But then when you've asked Allah, right, you've also got to put the steps into play to make it happen. So Issa wanted to go to London. I was thinking, how are we going to do it? The conversation happened, then the decision happened, then the actions happened. And that's how we ended up, alhamdulillah, making so many beautiful memories. Yet, if I just sat there thinking, yeah, I want to go to London, but I don't do anything, right? We just sit there, or he sits there, and he doesn't voice it out, or he doesn't ask, it just wouldn't happen. And actually, I do remember when he was saying it, I go, do you know what? Let's write it down and make a dua. Ask Allah, okay? Ask Allah, and if it's meant to be, you will go. Also, yeah, let's be people that when we talk to each other, we remind each other of Allah, because that will in turn become a sadaqah jariyah for us. That's what my friend said, and I was so grateful for that. So, yeah, I pray that this video was beneficial, and inshallah you got to learn something from it. And yeah, I'll see you next week, inshallah. So, assalamu alaikum.